going to call this meeting to order. This is the Madison County Board of Education meeting on March the 14th, 2024. It's 6 o'clock, and we are going to get this meeting started. The next thing on our agenda is I want to welcome everybody first real quickly. So thank you, guys. We have a lot of people here today, so super excited to see everyone. But I would like to have Ms. Coyle read our vision statement, please.
Okay. Madison County Schools, in partnership with the community, strives to equip educators and students with the skills to lead by example, develop and speak with a unique voice, and explore their academic curiosity and to make a positive impact in your community and world.
Thank you. And next is one of our very exciting things that we do every month. We have a showcase, and Dr. Gillum, would you introduce them for us?
Be glad to. This month, the student showcase is from Waco Elementary. The Waco Elementary STLP team will be presenting their Books on Air project, which is competing at the state STLP competition on March 27th at Rupp Arena. For this project, STLP students collaborated with Waco librarian Renee Denny to find books in various reading levels that have been overlooked. For each book, students create a short book trailer that's posted on in the morning choice boards for teachers to show their students. Our team's hope is to spark an interest in the books to create a trailer for and possibly help spark the joy of reading in all Waco Cardinals. Here tonight to tell us more about the Books on Air project is the Waco Elementary STLP team and their leader, Kimberly Evans.
Introducing Books on Air, Engaging Literacy Through Podcasting project by Waco STLP.
Results from Renaissance, 6 minutes of the world's largest annual study of K through 12 kindergarten reading habits shown the following. Students read 6 more minutes per day even though they began struggling the year, ended the year, or above benchmark. Those students in 6th grade read 422,000 more words, and comprehension was 6% higher than their peers.
Those struggling to successful third graders were able to read 100,448 more words while their comprehension was 11% higher than their peers. Kids that read 20 minutes a day will have exposure to approximately 2 million words a year.
Students need books in hand, but how do we encourage them to read?
Introducing Books on Air.
Books on Air is our podcast that highlights least circulated books in our library. Our setup consists of green screen backdrop, laptop, microphones, lighting, and a camera.
StreamYard is our streaming platform. You can stream Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also just make a recording and upload to your viewing platform. StreamYard has been easy for students to learn to manipulate themselves.
To our next installment on Books on Air. Today, I have Mason Duty.
Welcome to our second edition of On Air. We have Emmy, Tyler, and Hector joining us today. So, what is the title of your book that you're sharing?
Our book is called Miss Daisy is Crazy.
What color A is this book?
A blue.
Is this part of a series?
Yes.
And who's the author?
Dan Gutman.
Now, what were your first thoughts of the book before you read it?
Not good. I didn't think I was gonna like it.
Yeah.
How come?
I don't like books.
Looks a little childish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, without giving anything away, what was your favorite part of the story?
Miss Daisy being crazy.
And the principal.
And did you relate to any of the characters in the book?
Emily. No, not really.
No.
Not really.
So, and don't give it away to us, but was the ending surprising?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And did it leave you wanting to read more?
Yes.
Kind of.
Okay. So if we were wanting to check out Miss Daisy is Crazy, where would we find this in our library?
You would find it in the book series section.
In the back of the library.
Well, thank you all. We hope you enjoyed this and go check out Miss Daisy is Crazy.
Bye. Book talks versus book trailers. After putting out several book talk videos, we received feedback from our librarian. She felt our project would have more impact if we did book trailers more like the ones we see at our advertisements for our book fair. CapCut and iMovie. We started looking at CapCut and iMovie, but some of us already had experience with CapCut. We found that to be easier and more efficient. iMovie has the same capabilities as CapCut, however, you have to upload your own effects into iMovie for green screen. Our new videos.
Chickadee, a Criminal Mastermind by Monica Sovey and Elena Ellis. Chickadee has grown up in a world of crime. Help Chickadee find his way back to happiness. Chickadee has always had what he wanted, from great worms to great seeds. But now Chickadee has chose the world of crime. Help Chickadee find his way back.
Our teacher's writing choice board shows our pledge, our book trailers, our hallway procedures, and the lunch menu. And our data shows so far with the book trailers that Christie's Great Idea has the most checkouts, and our least checkouts are Miss Daisy is Crazy, School Bus, The Corner of the Universe, and The Stinky Cheese Man.
Oh, thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Great job. They did a very nice job. Thank you all for coming. All right, when you all walked in tonight, there was a agenda right out there at the door, so hopefully you guys got the chance to see that. Also, did anyone turn in any forms, if anyone would like to speak? Okay, thank you, Tammy. All right, number 6 on our agenda then is the consent agenda. There are items that the board sees regularly, and we are very familiar with these items, so we get this agenda well in advance and have time to look over it, ask questions. So tonight, items on our agenda to be approved on the consent agenda are the minutes of the February 8th, 2024 meeting, claims, the superintendent's personnel actions, leave of absence, the technology surplus, the following out-of-state field trips, which are the Madison Middle School Band and Choir trip to Holiday World, Indiana on May 11th, 2024, the Madison Middle School All A's Reward trip to Mason, Ohio on May 17th, 2024, the Silver Creek Elementary School first grade trip to Cincinnati, Ohio on May 15th, 2024, the Madison Southern High School senior class trip to Mason, Ohio on April 26, 2024, the Madison Southern High School baseball trip to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on March the 13th through April the 4th, 2024, the Madison Southern High School softball trip to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee on April 1st through the 3rd, 2024, the Clark Moore's Middle School 6th grade band trip to Mason, Ohio on May 4th, 2024, and the Clark Moore's Middle School Platinum Cardholders trip to Mason, Ohio on May 15th, 2024. There's also maintenance supplies, a review school activity fund reports, and 2 shortened school day applications. Are there any questions about this? All right, if not, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
All right, the motion has been made by Ms. Brock, second by Ms. Coyle. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, next we have our monthly reports. We have our instruction report next. Tonight, we have Shane Richardson, Assistant Principal at Foley Middle School, and Eddie Sexton, Principal at Clark Moore's Middle School, to give our middle school instruction report. Thanks for coming, you all.
Thanks for having us. Good evening. We're really excited to share some updates of our school. Specifically at Foley, we're really excited about some work that our MTSS team has been doing. In January, I got the chance to share with you all a showcase with our Student Voice Committee. We had a couple of kiddos that we're really proud of come out and talk about that committee. Really, they came out as a result of trying to get more student voice in our school to think about school improvement. And one exciting update that I have to share with you tonight is that team has met several times since January's board meeting, and they have really focused on positivity. And one big initiative that we have embraced over the last couple of months is our Positive Warrior Report, which is it's the opposite of an office disciplinary referral. It's really focusing on really good behaviors that we want to see in our warriors. And that comes from our behavioral anchors of being ready, being responsible, being respectful, and also being safe. And we really want to highlight students that are showcasing those different anchors. And so our Student Voice Committee had come up with this idea. Our teachers have embraced it, have been giving students positive warrior reports, and from that they highlight such things as kiddos staying after class and helping clean up after a lab, holding the door for a classmate, and some really exciting ideas like students who are setting goals for their iReady that they're going to take at the end of March. So just really focusing on helping students to develop those social emotional competencies that we want to see in them. Our teachers are using this idea to highlight good instruction in our behavior to help students know what it looks like to be a model warrior. And we just love the opportunity to get to highlight that positivity. And we also have the chance to highlight staff. They get positive warrior reports too. I know a teacher has given a positive warrior report to one of our instructional assistants who checks in on students, makes sure that they have everything that they need, and it's just a good opportunity to model that behavior that helps us to address the warrior way. And that's what we want to see our students behave that way at school, but then also outside of school, as they are every warrior everywhere. So, and with that, I know Mr. Sexton has some good updates, some similar things going on at his school that he's proud of, so I'll turn things over to him.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. Like Mr. Richardson said, this year with our MTSS work, we really wanted to highlight and focus on those students that are coming to school every day and doing exactly what we need them to do and following our Braves anchors. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in maybe 5 or 10. They use up a lot of energy because they were kind of like I was in school, making some poor decisions. But we have so many awesome kids at Clark Moore's Middle School coming and doing exactly what we need them to every day. So we wanted a chance to highlight them. So very similar to Foley, we did a positive reward challenge for our grade level teams. And during the third 9 weeks, we did Be Respectful, which is one of our anchors. We have Be Prepared, Be Respectful, Be Honest, Be Engaged, and Be Willing to Grow. So we really wanted to focus on that Be Respectful one. We had over 200 positive referrals written up in a 9-week span. Our teachers, just like Shane mentioned, have really embraced that. We recognized our teachers for recognizing those kids that had that distributed our anchors and that good behavior. We provided lunch for them. I'm sure they were really looking for those positive behaviors in that. But we really wanted to look at those kids and provide them an opportunity to highlight their success. From August to now, 48% of our referrals are positive. So we're very proud of that. I'd like to see that get above that 50% a little bit, and I know we'll get there before the end of the year. One initiative we had is Mr. Langfels and I started what we call our State of the Union address. We bring our grade level teams in once every midterm, and we revisit those anchors. And we demonstrate and have examples, and we have students talk about what does it look like to be prepared at Clark Moore's Middle School? What does it look like to be respectful? What does it look like to be engaged in instruction? So we get them kind of recalibrated every 4.5 weeks during the midterm. We also started an initiative called the LEADS program, where we identify 5 students per grade level every 9 weeks. And the LEADS is an acronym for students who display leadership. The E is for excellence, students that demonstrate excellence. The A is for attitude, and the D is for determination, and the S is for service. So we recognize those students during lunch, The students are wonderful with applauding and recognizing those kids and giving them a round of applause for their hard work. And we display them out in the foyer, out there in the foyer in our trophy case. Another group initiative we had was called the Difference Makers. It's led by Mr. Wesley Sweat. This is a multicultural mentoring group of students, primarily made up of 7th and 8th graders that are working to build awareness of the differences in multicultural groups, similarities within those groups within our school community. So right now, Mr. Langfells is working with those 7th and 8th graders along with Mr. Sweat in that Difference Makers group, and they're visiting our classrooms during the story time. And they have a presentation they put together where they're highlighting those anchors. So we have students talking to students, hey, this is what it looks like to be prepared here. This is what it looks like to be respectful. And that's went over very well to have our upperclassmen talking to our younger students, and we tell them, hey, you may not think nobody's looking, but they're watching you. So, and it's went over very well. So we're really proud of that group and the work that they've done. But any questions about anything Mr. Richardson and I have had?
I just think it's wonderful that you're all focused on the positive behaviors, the positivity. It goes a lot longer or a lot further than when you're just focused on the negative, and the kids, I'm sure, sense that. And it makes them proud.
Well, we are told repeatedly that it's easier to pull people along than to push people along, so we think the same as far as behavior as well.
I think it's fantastic.
I think that
Great
focus
job.
on respect and accountability is just fabulous, especially for this age group. That's awesome. Thank you all for that.
Thank you
all.
very much.
Yeah, thank you both.
Thank you.
Our next is 7B, our construction report. We have Jonathan Smith with Branscombe Construction. He's going to be presenting our update tonight on our new Madison Middle School project.
Good evening. Just want to give you a quick update on what's going on at the middle school. If you've not been by over there, we've had a lot of activity since the last board meeting. As I told you before, a lot of masonry and steel work going on right now. So a lot of the structures going up. It's actually standing at our job trailer looking at the front of the building there. You can see a lot of that structure starting to take shape. Starting to see what the classroom wings and roof lines are going to look like. This is in the front area. You can see a lot of that steel's going up, and they're decking those areas, putting metal decking over those areas as they're getting them completed. Again, a lot of masonry work has gone on to get us to this point, and it's actually helped the schedule pretty well. This is another area there in Area A where the joists are going in. You can see the scaffold beyond that. The masons are laying that wall on up in that corridor there. This is looking back towards that front area. That's kind of the last area we're going to be working in, but they've been setting some of that steel there, kind of working their way out, getting some of that structure set so we can start filling in those areas. This is looking down one of the corridors. You can see that precast over top. All the precast got there a few weeks ago. That's all been set. That precast what builds the mechanical mezzanine for that level in the mezzanine. That's where all the mechanical units and everything will set. So all of that precast has been set on the project now. This is up on top of the mechanical mezzanine. You can see those handrails are going in. Those are starting to get done. Actually, that mechanical mezzanine gets a top and slab poured on it. We were going to pour tomorrow, but the weather is not going to allow, so we put that off till Monday. But that mechanical mezzanine slabs, they will be poured on Monday. That's still standing on that mechanical mezzanine looking over, and you can see, like I said, a lot of that structure going up, block going up in a lot of different areas. This is the steel that goes on up to make the roof line. You can see that going up off that mechanical mezzanine, and the masonry going up along that area too, where time allows. This is one of the classroom wings. You can see them topping that wall out. They've got that scaffold up. They're getting that masonry set. That's all being completed. You know, with the time change and these longer days, they've actually worked to, you know, giving a little more time. They're taking advantage of these long afternoons, trying to get a lot of that set. That's one of the big areas on mechanical mezzanine. That's area C there. It's a lot of where the equipment's going to set. And that area will be poured also Monday when we pour all the slabs on that mechanical mezzanine. You can see the structure is going up as well as the masonry goes up. That's still up on this is in the storm shelter area. You can see that mechanical mezzanine going up. And that's actually changed. This picture was taken last Tuesday, but it's actually changed since then. I was out the site today. They've laid more blocks. So they're going right along, keeping those areas laid up. This is one of the areas that's actually covered. The decking's on it. You can see the steel above that, and that's standing in that mechanical mezzanine. So that's what that mezzanine will look like above that hallway, and the classrooms are off to the right there. You see all the structure has been set. And this is just kind of an overall shot looking at Area D and there at the front. The weather's kind of cooperated with us. We've had a few days here and there, but overall it's went really well, and been able to keep the mason there, been keeping people on the job. So progress has been really well. We got a progress meeting next Wednesday to review with all the contractors. So
would you
everything's went
say
really well.
we are on time, would you say?
Yeah, we're back a few months ago, we were actually ahead, and we've lost a little bit with weather, but we're still running pretty good schedule-wise. We're ahead in a few areas, other areas, weather, outside stuff, not being able to work as much, but we've been focusing on the structure of the building, so it's gone up really well. Any questions?
It's so exciting to drive by there. See so much progress. I know people are probably honking at me because I'm slowing down, just creeping and looking at everything, but it's amazing. And the amount of people out there working every single time I go by. Y'all are doing a great job.
Just gets bigger every time I look at it.
Yeah, especially the amount of cars from all the workers that are just lined up, yeah.
It's exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Very exciting. All right, now, Tony Thomas. He's going to give us more. So with Felter Samacar Architects, he's going to present our construction report next.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good to see you. I like it. Tony Thomas. I'll always have you be my barker for an introduction. Well, if we start at the Phillips Building, last month I showed you pictures of snow, so there wasn't a lot of outdoor work going on at any of these projects, really. But within the last month, of course, there's been a lot of progress. It's hard to see here, but the studs are there in the under the roof area, and they're getting. In fact, they've got some of those studs in now, so that's all the steel studs that are going to be the outside wall. All the roof deck on that area along Georgia Street almost looks new, and some of that old steel, you can really see how in good a shape it is. So just got that new roof deck on there. Here's just another look, looking back towards the back of the site, towards 3rd Street. Plumbing going in. I'm sure everybody's going to be happy to have some really nice restrooms there in the office area that's being installed. If we go up to the concessions area, you can see the footings are in, and they're continuing to work on that area. It won't be long before they're pouring floor slabs there. And this is just an open area along 2nd Street where they've put in some new lighting. Not a lot is really going on in that area. New overhead door and some lights in there is pretty much it. Nice big parking space for them. And on the back 40 over towards 30, there's a lot of earthwork going on, and this is where the back parking lot and the soccer field will eventually be. So they're really, now that the weather is getting better, they'll be able to work on that area even more. So that is it for Phillips Building. Any questions on Phillips Building? On the Madison Middle School, of course, I'm repeating a lot of things Jonathan just said. Progress has been good. Same thing. We had flyovers of snow last time. It was tough for them to get any work done, but since then, a lot of progress. You can see the roof on this. This is the classroom wing that sticks out towards Goggins Lane. Just a lot of good progress. As he mentioned, the mezzanine areas getting filled in and really taking shape. Looking at the next classroom wing, this was the one that faces south towards the development. They probably got some roof decking on there now too. This was a couple of days ago. This is looking down on the media center, up on that mezzanine that Jonathan was describing. Where you see the steel columns is where the main lobby will go down through there. And this is looking back towards Goggin Lanes, toward the front entry area there. And this is just a detail of the storm shelter windows. All the details of these storm shelters areas are pretty extensive. So those windows aren't going anywhere. So just you can feel safe about that. And back towards the back of the building, this is where the kitchen is. All the slabs are poured, as he mentioned, and that's the area where the cooler freezer will set. And really on the back 40 here, it's been so nasty and muddy that they haven't really done much at all. But as I understand it, in discussions with Branscombe, next week they'll start the footings and for the press boxes and concessions buildings that are associated with football, baseball, softball, all those areas. So that is it for Madison Middle. If no questions, I'll jump into the former tech center there on Madison Central Campus. You can see they've starting to fill in areas where they've torn things out. Oh, and I'll mention Trace Creek is here and Murch is here, the site superintendent. So I'm just walking through some of these pictures. He's helping really push this project along. The schedule's good on both Phillips. Well, all of them really, as far as I'm concerned, look pretty good considering their timelines. This being pretty tight in that we're trying to get in there by August, of course. Lots of ductwork in, lots of materials stored on site. This is the kitchen hood, where that's the kitchen area. That's where the cooking bank will be and the combi ovens, and that's the hood up above. You can see a lot of the utility infrastructure running up atop there. Electrical going in, just an extensive amount of electrical work done. That wide door is where the dry food storage will be in the background. You've seen us show pictures of the bathroom areas. They're starting to close in the block walls now, and there's a little mechanical mezzanine structure that'll go on top of those walls for the HVAC equipment. And the day I was there a couple of days ago, they were really cleaning up the areas. The classrooms on the upper side are just about ready for finishes. You can see the taped. So they were really doing an extensive job cleaning up. So all my pictures are really, really dusty, but that's a good thing. Because they were getting ready to clean up and get ready for finishes. And of course, if you've gone by there, just the new windows almost make the building look new. And of course, these are a color that match all the windows at the high school, so that really ties the two projects together. But a lot of those windows have now been replaced. And this is just a picture of the detail. You can see how beefy these windows are. These are good, beefy, well-insulated, secure windows. So paid for a good product there. And that is it. Madison Kindergarten, of course, it bid. We had a pre-con on February 22nd. We're reviewing the shop drawings, and they're hopefully on site May 1st, starting work there, and hopefully they'll already have some materials in their hand by that point. That's it for the construction report, unless there's any questions. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tony. All right, next on our agenda is 7C, our monthly financial report with Mark Woods, our CFO.
Good evening. We'll get started here with the bank rec. As of February 29th, the district ended with a reconciled balance of $150,219,834.47. You can see it's up. The biggest thing is it's our construction money. We had our bond sale for the Phillips building, and that money actually hit on the 28th. So it really jumped our balance up. I have taken some of that money now and invested it so that we'll be able to put more into our construction with that. So we'll keep it invested so that we earn a little cash flow off of it to help with future construction projects. The rest of that, you can see all the balances are really due to our construction accounts that's keeping it up as compared to last year. Of the reconciled balance, the district has $65,242,031.03 in investments. Those rates range from 4.5% to 5.0687. We have 2 local CDs, and of course, we're buying treasury yields with the rest of the money. So that seems to be working well as our investment model for right now. So we'll continue that while we can get better rates. I'm staying pretty much with the 3 and 4 month treasury yields because that meets our timelines for cash flow, and also they're the better, higher rates right now. So we're keeping an eye on all the future rates and where those are going. In addition, you had a balance sheet and the revenue and expense report for February in your packet. I've looked through that. We're trending where we should be right now. Everything looks fine. All of our expenditures, everything, they look really good. We're hitting all of our targets on budget, so I feel good about that. Any questions?
Good, thank you.
No? All right, so we'll move on to our action agenda. So we need to approve our monthly financial reports. So if there's no questions, I need a motion to approve our monthly financial reports as presented.
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, it's been motion made by Ms. Cobb and second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is 8B, to approve the change order number 1 for Madison Middle School project. Do you want to say anything?
I'd be glad to.
Okay.
Let's see. This one, actually, 8B and 8C are both essentially the same piece. It is, we switched out carpet out of the library and replaced it with VCT tile. So it's a slight increase in the cost, but not much, due to increased labor.
Are there any questions? All right, if not, I need a motion to approve the change order number 1 to Madison Middle School project for the amount of $2,478 as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Coyle, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next, 8C, to approve the change order number 2 for Madison Middle School. Are there any questions? Like Dr. Gillum said, it's just like the other one. All right. Then I need a motion to approve the change order number 2 for the Madison Middle School project in the amount of $43.12.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Motion's been made by Ms. Brock, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on our agenda, 8D, to approve the change orders number 1 and number 3 for the Richmond ATC project.
Okay. So I would say, first of all, 2 things about this. This is the Ignite North, and if you recall, 3-4 years ago, we were calling that the Richmond ATC renovation before we had a name. But also point out, we do these change orders sequentially, and this is change order 1 and change order 3. So thank you, Tony, and our construction folks there for very few change orders, obviously, on this piece. And what this is actually was not an issue with the contractor. It was we decided to pull out 2 pieces of equipment, purchase them on our own, pull them out of the contract. So that we have to kind of switch that back. So take those credits back. We had already taken the credit off of one side. We have to put it back on the other side. Net here is $0. So it's just a bookkeeping piece.
Are there any questions? All right. Then I need a motion to approve change orders number 1 and number 3 for the Richmond ATC project, resulting in a net 0 change to Madison County as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Coyle, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Next, 8E, something everybody's been very excited to pick the dates for, so we're happy to have Mr. James Ray with us tonight, so.
How are you all doing?
We're
Good. How
good.
are you?
Wonderful. I know what this time of year means to the seniors, being former principal here, and I'm excited to come here and present options for you all to select from for graduation dates. And a reminder, Madison Central will graduate first this year, and Madison Southern would graduate second. Option 1 that you all have is for May the 23rd, a Thursday, May the 24th, Friday. Option 2 would be May 24th, a Friday, and May the 25th, a Saturday. Option 3 would be both for Saturday. Looking at the recommendation would be for option 1. That's because the kid's last day is May 23rd. It gives us some flexibility with the Memorial Day weekend. And then in case of rain, it gives us the ability to do things that may be necessary to make sure we get the graduation in.
So I think maybe what a lot of people don't realize is that this year we're faced with a little bit of a challenge because Alumni Coliseum is being renovated, so we're moving the graduations back to each of the schools. And we want some flexibility because we want to allow as many family members as we can. That's the reason we need some options to be able to change in case of rain, because we don't want to have to move it into the gymnasium because there's so few. And I'm preaching to the choir. I know
Well,
you-
you're gonna say,
what you
I can just tell you
exactly
from
what you're gonna
living
say.
that week, I don't know that I've ever looked at, and I coached for a lot of years, but I don't know that I ever looked at Weather Channel as much as I did that week leading up, just to kind of make sure that that window of opportunity was gonna be good for us. And then, again, making contingency plans, because, you know, we understand what this means for our families and our communities, and, you know, obviously, we wanna do the best by everybody, give everybody the most opportunities to be there as possible.
Absolutely.
Well, in these times for Saturday on option 3 is an absolute no-go for me. Because we like to have died when we did this the last time. It was so hot at 11 and 2. I can't imagine what 11 and 2 would be. We even had, we even had students that almost passed out from the heat. So I'd prefer to not put anybody in those positions right in the middle of the day. Early morning is fine and the evening would be fine, but I'm gonna say nah to the option 3.
So would you envision, as we get closer to the time, us to be able to announce a Plan A and a Plan B? Or how this will work so that there can be a little bit of plan, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So everybody can
if-
plan accordingly. And I think the
Right.
plans are to get together next week.
Perfect.
Obviously, you all select the date that we're going to use here for this.
Okay.
So after you all select the date, then we get the second part of this going, where I think the principals will get back and meet and have discussions about ticketing and about venues and about backup plans and things like that. So
Perfect.
first step is just for you all to pick the dates that you all would like for it to be, and then we will go from there.
I do like the idea of a rain date, so that, you know, we already limit families with tickets.
Right.
And I would not want to limit them even further by trying to send it into the gym. So I do like the idea of a rain date. I need a clarification here, though. Do the kids, is the last day of school May 23rd?
That's what he said.
Thursday, May 23rd, yes.
Okay. Because this says they're out of school on the 23rd.
I think maybe it means out of school at 3. Maybe.
Okay, that's what you mean, okay.
It is a little weird.
That's what I was thinking, okay.
Yeah. I agree, though. I like option 1. I feel like it does, as you mentioned, give us more flexibility in case of inclement weather. I really don't want to move them into the gym and allow fewer family members to attend. And I know we both have seniors, so it's important that as well as the rest of the families, but, you know.
It'd be hard to tell who can't come in and who
Right.
has to stay back.
Right.
And it was a lot to think through last time if we'd gotten, unfortunately, the weather, you know, didn't present those issues to us, but, you know, we thought through plans to, if we had to move indoors, what that would look like, and, like you said, it would be a reduction, so.
Alumni is a wonderful place, and I look forward to being able to use it in the future because it's so big and we don't have to worry. But I also love something about the kids being able to graduate at their schools.
Yeah.
I'm just
When
really
we did that
excited
during
for
COVID, that was really neat.
I
It really
enjoyed
was.
it, actually.
It was special.
Because
You're
it's
just
so
kind of
bad,
at the
but it was
mercy
Warm
of
but
the
special, but I'll take warm over rain.
Yes, oh, it was so hot.
Just take a little fan with you next time.
All right, is there any other discussion or any other comments or questions for Mr. Ray?
No. We're good.
Okay,
Well, I make a motion, we do option 1.
all right, sounds good. Is there a second for us to set the graduation date for May 23rd as the graduation date for Madison Central High School? That would be at 7:30 p.m. That's a Thursday. And then May the 24th, 7:30 p.m. as the graduation date for Madison Southern High School, both at 7:30 p.m. One is on a Thursday, one is on a Friday. So Ms. Cobb
I'll
made the
second it.
motion. You'll second it by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you very
Thank you all
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next on the agenda is 8F, to modify our June meetings. Do we have any questions about that? I know you guys have received the agenda, like I mentioned earlier, and looked at these dates that we're moving and canceling. So if there's no questions, then I need a motion to reschedule the June 6th meeting to June 13th at 6 p.m. and cancel the June 20th meeting.
So move.
All right, motion by Ms. Coyle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. 8G, to approve Hearst Music PO. Dr. Gillen. would you like to say a few words?
Sure. This is just the purchase of some band equipment for Madison Middle. Part of it's going to be with their school funds. They've taken a look at the band equipment, needs some upgrades, and we're part of it will be with some district funds that we have set aside for that purpose.
All right, are there any questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve the Hearst Music purchase order for Madison Middle School in the amount of $92,449.89 as presented.
So moved.
All right, the motion by Ms. Cobb, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Brock, all those in favor?
Aye.
Next on our agenda is 8H, to approve Atlas Enterprises, Inc., PO.
This is for Caudle Middle School, the storm damage that we talked about a little bit last time with some replacing lights and a few things. But it did take off part of the roof, which caused water to get down into the library, and it damaged the bookshelves, some bookshelves and cabinets that are in the library. So this is to replace those. You actually have two POs here, H and I. One is for bookshelves, and the other is for the cabinetry. This one is for the cabinetry. Any questions?
No. All right, then I need a motion to approve the Atlas Enterprises, Inc. purchase order in the amount of $30,045 for the cabinets and the tops in the library at B. Michael Caudle.
So moved.
All right, motion's been made by Ms. Brock, I'm going with her, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next is 8I, to approve Atlas Enterprises, Inc., PO. I think Dr. Gillum just spoke on that. Is there any other questions? All right, then I need a motion to approve Atlas Enterprises, Inc. purchase order in the amount of $39,875 for the shelving in the library at B. Michael Caudle.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Coyle. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, second by Ms. Brock. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next on our agenda is the superintendent's report by Dr. Gillum.
All right. Well, thank you. So we'll start out with, I've been going around the district doing my second round of principal evaluation site visits, and it's been great to be out in those schools, see our students and staff working very hard. They're doing some great work out there. We appreciate it. We'll also soon be doing our second round of allocation meetings where we set our staffing levels for next year for each school. And we're also keeping a close eye on the legislative session, especially the state budget, which impacts us greatly. We're still trying to leverage as much as we can to support our local district. So we're keeping an eye on that. I want to let everyone know on February 15th, I had a privilege of participating in the presentation of Footprints, which traces of Black history in Richmond, Kentucky. This was a wonderful event. It was held at Richmond City Hall, featured Mr. Ben Nichols and his students from Madison Central as the students led that presentation. We thank you. We thank the Richmond Tourism and Madison County Historical Society for their work on this project and allowing Madison County Schools to be a part of it. It was really a great night. And then I also want to make sure that I say thank you to all of our folks that were involved in our disruption out at Waco yesterday. For those of you who might not know, there was some construction going on near the school, not ours, but near the school. Hit a gas line, and our local first responders and the gas company suggested that we evacuate the campus. So our Waco administration worked with district admin, and we got all of the we got buses out there, got the kids evacuated, and we put our reunification plan in place. And they relocated to Eastside Community Church. Really want to say a huge thank you to Eastside Community Church. They did a great job. Our Waco folks couldn't say enough positive things about the experience they had getting to go out there. And the kids really, actually, they enjoyed it. They thought it was a field trip. They had a good time. So it was good. And so everyone will know, all of our schools have a reunification plan. We put those together at the beginning of the year. And we have different venues throughout the county, different churches, EKU, some buildings on EKU campus and Berea College campus serve as some of those reunification points. As we're putting those plans together, our school folks go out at the beginning of the year. They visit those sites. They walk through. They look at the areas where would be able to hold our kids and put our kids safe, keep our kids safe, and then areas where they'd be able to bring cars in and get them to parents. They fix up the little emergency boxes so they know when they get ready to evacuate, they're gonna take all the medications, they're gonna take all the emergency checkout cards and all of that information with them. That's all part of that reunification plan. And we do that, like I said, just in case we have to evacuate a campus. For example, yesterday we had to do that. So great job, Waco, and thank you very much to all of our community partners, especially Eastside Community Church. That's my superintendent report.
Thank you, Dr. Gillum. Next is comments from the board, and I want to say very quickly, I skipped over on purpose the recognition for tonight because we were going to award our, the children's champion winner, and apparently he is sick. So we want to wish him better health, and hopefully he'll get to come to our meeting next week. So just in case you guys were wondering about the agenda and why we didn't award anything tonight. So, and I do want to agree with you. It was great talking to our Waco Elementary principal who was here tonight, and she was here supporting her students, and it was flawless, and we appreciate hearing that from her mouth. And she was telling us about some of the stories of some of the kids and how excited they were that this is the best day ever, I think you guys were telling us. So it is very much appreciated, all the work that all the principals, all the teachers, all the staff, all that they do to take care of our wonderful and blessed children that we have in our community. So,
Well said.
anybody else? All right, then we'll keep going if no one else. All right, next on the agenda is number 11, to adjourn. So I'll need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, the motion's been made by Ms. Brock. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, second by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion is made and seconded and the vote, and now we'll close it out. All right, we'll adjourn.
Thank you.